Hi friends, it's Michelle with Garden Jargon, and I am out here in the Wilson Garden today. It is Friday, July 9th, and it is my desire to film a video every Friday of the Wilson Garden so that you guys can watch the progress of what I have going in this organized chaos behind me. So I wanted to take you on a quick little trip because I was out here majority of the day yesterday getting some projects done because we all had an overcast day yesterday and it was only about 70 degrees. It was beautiful that I could work for like 6 hours in this garden and not die of heat. So I'm so grateful for that. So let me show you the Wilson Garden. I'm going to clip in a couple video portions of this video when we get to other things in the garden. So I filmed some stuff over at Ginger Creek Garden so I can tag them in here so that you can see them. But you can see the tires are doing really well, and I'm not sure if I got the buckets in the last video. So let me flip my camera around so I can show you. All right, I put my herbs in all of these tires this year. I put Gladiolas in the back of all my tires. This is parsley. I'm not quite certain what's happening here. Looks like it got burnt. By what, I do not know, but this is curly leaf, flat leaf. This is a bucket of Kiku Melons. I saw this on Roots and Refuge, so I thought I'd try them this year. They're still little babies, and I put the forks in here to keep the squirrels out. So far, I don't know if that's a myth, but they are not digging holes in there. The squirrels obviously dig holes in everything else. But this is bee balm. I never get it to flower here. I'm not sure if it's supposed to. Sage, obviously. The Gladiolas. This is honey rock melons. Same thing. I have the forks in there to deter the squirrels because they obviously love to hide their little findings through the yard. This is all my cilantro that bolted. Gladiolas. These two containers are Kajari Melons because they are my favorite. So we'll see how those work out this year. Oh, no, I lied. That is not Kajaris. Those are Armenian striped cucumbers and the green dragon cucumber. These are the Kajari melons. This is another patch of sage, some more bee balm. Dill is back here. I chopped down my dill a lot to see if it would come back. I'm not certain if it will. I've never grown it. I don't know if it grows like basil, where you can trim it, prune it, and it'll grow back. Kajari melons, I obviously put the holes in the bottom of the tub, as well as around the edges of the tub to make sure that they're never sitting in water. This is mint, peppermint, and spearmint, and more parsley. I got rosemary in here, tucked back there with the gladiolas. This is Benikodima watermelon. This is a birdhouse gourd. Who knows how big that's going to get. Nasturtium in here. I want to see the pretty flowers. Oregano, Italian oregano. My nieces call this the pizza plant. I think there's more bee balm. A sunflower I just stabbed in here. These, what is this? Oh, spaghetti squash. Spaghetti squash in that bucket. Tons of basil. Mexican sour gherkin. Basil. These are all propagated petunias that I did, and a couple plant fillers buckets, and more propagated petunias right there. Some little begonias that this weekend I'm going to fill all these buckets and fill them up and make them nice and pretty, because I finally got my living area situated here with the umbrella. My organized chaos is coming to some prettiness at some point. More flower buckets here, and I'll put them around our seating area because I want to sit in this seating area and look across my yard at the beautiful bird. I call this the food court for the birdies with all the bird feeders. I'm cleaning my hummingbird feeders right now, and then you can look off into the yonder at my beautiful garden. Now it is very sunny out here in my garden today. I wish I had more cloudy weather so that it wasn't so bright for this video, but I can't help the weather. This is clematis and sweet pea. I'm going to put them in both of these buckets, and I'm going to build some type of arch trellis. What I did in my garden yesterday, my goodness, what didn't I do? Let's see. Okay, we'll start over here. I got donated a couple tomato plants that I stuck in these buckets, and they're 4 varieties that I did not start on my own. So I went ahead and put them in the buckets. They're doing really well. I've trimmed them down to single stem pruning, except for this one that kind of wide at the bottom. I didn't know which one was a sucker, so I left both. And then this I put in the ground with T-post. As you can see, the T-posts are stabbed down into the ground, and then I just drilled through the T-post into this wood to give it a little support. This support trellis was actually on my bucket garden last year. So under the blue tarp is straw. Try to keep that as dry as possible. These are my potato patches. But yesterday what I did was I created this little trellis for my cucumbers, because I put like 3 plants of cucumbers right here. I trimmed up all of my squash. These guys just popped out. I have some zucchinis in there. I got them a diatomaceous earth down on the bottom to try to help keep the squash vine borer out of my squashes. I put T-posts near my baby squashes over here, and I put aluminum foil down on the bottom. That's some slow release fertilizer that should not be on there. Tons of flowers. I built these arch trellises yesterday, which I will link the arch trellises that I did at the church in this video right after I show you this. But I basically put T-posts in the ground, put a thicker 1.5 inch PVC pipe on there, screw that in with the screws, just drywall screws, put another PVC pipe in there, and make sure that the arch is the same across the top so that 2 sets of welded wire fencing can go up and over, and zip tie it. Also wanted to show you what we did with our trellising idea. Our arch trellises that I did at my Wilson garden yesterday. I wanted to come over here and show you this quick clip of these arch trellises that I put in this garden. It's quite a few of them. But I don't have the finances for cattle panels through my entire garden, so I only use those for trellising my tomatoes. I have 2 cattle panel trellises over here that were left from last year that we started growing stuff on, and I couldn't move them by the time it was too late. So what we did with our arch trellises this year was we put T-post, 3-foot T-post at the bottom. Then we put some PVC pipe that I had extra, screwed that into the T-post, and then put the PVC pipe in there. And those are 10-foot PVC pipes that arch up and over. And then I collected welded wire. You can use chicken wire. Chicken wire is a little bit different because the plants can't get through the chicken wire. They can get through the welded fence a little bit easier because the holes are bigger. So let me turn the camera around and show you. This is, I think, some like hog fencing, I guess. I don't know, hog fencing or poultry fencing. It's only about 2 feet deep, but the holes are bigger at the top than they are on the bottom. Like, these are a lot closer. But it does not matter. What we did was we literally just put it up and over, and we zip tied it on the PVC pipe, and we brought it down here pretty low, so whatever we're growing, which is these melons down here, once they get big enough, they're going to grab hold of this and they're going to cover this entire trellis like they did at my house last year. We did the same thing with this down here, but I do not believe that that is a vining type of squash. So that's news to me. I got to put a T-post in there to help those. This is a vining variety. As you can see, it's vining out. It has tendrils looking for stuff to hang on to. We do not have the welded fencing on here yet. We need to do that this weekend. We do have another, this is Acorn Squash. I'm not sure if that's one that has tendrils on it or not, but there's a couple little baby in there that we are going to put the welded fence on here. Now, we do have extra welded fence here on the property. I just have to go around and collect it. The star of the show, the Gladiolas. Look how beautiful those are. Aren't they gorgeous? I've never planted Gladiolas before. Look at me getting off track. I'm trying to show you welded fencing and PVC pipe arches. So this one is the same thing. The welded fence, this is just the rubber coated. Doesn't matter what kind it is, but you just zip tie it. And I make sure that my T-posts are the same width as the welded fencing. And this is beat up. It's used and it was free, so why not use it? So those obviously are gonna vine up. I just put a little bamboo stick in there to give it a little help to start its way up there. And I'll use clips to clip it all the way up and over. Now, if you've ever grown squash and you have issues with powdery mildew or anything like that, you have to spray them. And it says spray the top of the leaves and the underside of the leaves. When you do these arched trellises, guys, you can get underneath those leaves so much easier. So just wanted to share that with you today. Thank you. I got it really low on the one side. So this is only about a foot off of the ground so that the squash can be trained to grow up this thing. Look, I clipped this one on yesterday and it's already popped through. What's that on my hand? Hi, bug. Flying ant. More squash over there. It's being led up there by a stick. I just stuck a stick in the ground. And they will grow up and over this arch trellis. There's my little doggy. She's hanging out in the shade. So I built this trellis yesterday and I stabbed it right through my carrot bed because that's where the T-post needed to go. So I need to put that down in there. Strawberries have been struggling all season. I finally got these cucumbers in the ground. I have 2 plants there, another variety in the middle. I have another variety right in here, and then another, so there's 4 varieties here. And then I put this, I think this is Hortonova trellis. I just got a huge roll of it. I think there was 500 feet in it. Oh my gosh, it's tons. I've used it now 2 seasons, but I just kind of zigzagged it through this greenhouse so that all the cucumbers can grow up those, and I will train them as they grow. These marigolds have like literally doubled in size. I don't know. Are those marigolds? Who knows? Yeah, I think so. Let's see. Yes, marigolds. I put some lettuces in the ground. They're doing really well. I have to put this fence around it because I have a rabbit living in this garden. I'm not even kidding you. He's a baby and I don't think he can find his way out. I have flowers in here, some zinnias, cranberry beans that are pole beans that are looking to reach up and grab on that string. I just planted cucumbers in here, a couple different varieties, cucumbers in here. This is a flower bed. I have to get in here and deadhead these. These are some zinnias that I got from We Grow Dreams. I'm so grateful. They always have such beautiful things over there. My forage. This is marigolds, carrots, because when I was thinning those carrots, I stabbed them and put them in the ground and they're still growing. I'm letting them go. Okra is in the circles. They're slow this year. I don't know if anybody else is having problems with okra, but they're slow here. Yesterday, I also built this little trellis for more cucumbers. I'm going to have one more bucket in the middle with some more cucumbers there in the middle. And this thing will be filled with a whole cucumber wall. So I can't wait for that to happen. I have radishes here. And beets. Onions. I got some big onions in there. I can't believe it. I mean, I'm going to leave it because I love the flowers and the bees love the flowers. And I don't have a lot of flowers in this garden yet for pollinators. Eggplant. Those are tall. The ones at the church aren't even this big. Looks like I got a little baby. The flowers on eggplant are so pretty. This is my Basil Patch. I think in the last video you'll see it's like 2 feet tall. I literally hacked it all down and made a bunch of pesto. My girlfriend Cheryl gave me a dahlia. So I didn't want to put it in the ground. I wanted to put it in a pot. So I put it in this pot. It's probably too small of a pot, but I have no idea the beauty I'm going to see when this thing blooms. My pepper patch there, pepper patch there, doing really well. Rutabaga, that's an experiment. That looks like a mess if you ask me, but that's how you learn. More flowers over here. Marigolds there in the tray that I need to get in the ground somewhere. Tomatoes and basil. When I put these basil in the ground, they were literally like a half-inch tall. Nasturtium is really pretty. It's a variegated nasturtium, and it's flowering. Really pretty. My tomatoes, they all have this leaf curl. Not sure what that is. If you guys know what leaf curl is, put it in the description below what I can do to fix that. Probably will think twice next year when I do my bush beans. My thought was put bush beans in the back of the tomato bed so that I can get some green beans. I thought they were going to be done already by the time the tomatoes got to this size, and I was clearly wrong. So now that I know for next year, I will not put bush beans in the same beds as my tomatoes. So I have flowers in the front, bunch of borage here in the front of my plants, and all my tomatoes. I plugged in some marigolds here and there. But then this row has a ton of bush beans. Tomatoes in this back row. As you can see, my cattle panel trellis obviously ran out. So I have the trellis to make you jealous type of situation over there, just with the jute down along the side of those tomatoes. And hopefully that will support them if we get some windy conditions. Everything is looking good in here. Row of flowers. I want them to get bigger. I did get my first Cosmo. I will take you over there and show that to you right now. But all my zinnias are finally opening up. Look at those. They're growing. Sorry about the focus. These are my Husky cherry tomatoes. Right here, they're about 3 feet tall right now. I have 4 ground cherry tomato plants in here. They're doing good. I've never grown these, but look at these. Isn't that awesome? It's loaded with these. I guess when they fall off the branch, that's when they're ready to eat. I don't know. Never had them. Never even grew them. Don't even know if this is what they're supposed to look like when they grow. Purple basil with the flowers because the pollinators love it. That looks like a Cosmo. Some pepper plants that I put in here. Don't even... Sorry about that. My phone is too much full of video, so I could not continue recording on the other camera. Let's flip this around. So yes, I have some, I guess, Cosmos that I planted there, but these are all my indeterminate variety of tomatoes. San Marzanos, finally setting fruit in there. I cleaned this room out, this area. There's a bunch of trays and stuff and some shelving, like that shelving. Some struggling peppers, I gotta get water on them. This is another pepper bed right here. I believe that little bunny is living right in there. When I come out here once in a while, she scurries around, hides under the green beans. And I need to get her out of here before she ends up finding my lettuce or whatever else she decides to nibble on. I did the same thing over here with my green beans, planted them. They're finally starting to set fruit, which is great. Then I can pick those and get them out of here. This is some cucumbers here that's going to come up this little tower. I have 3 beautiful borage plants in here with a bunch of marigolds and some, I think that's calendula. Something nibbled that guy down. I bet you, I guess I know who that was. Oh, I just noticed this little cucumber looks like to be struggling. Hang on there, buddy. I'll get you some water. So, yes, I will link in the description below. Nope, not in the description. I will just link the video into this video. How I did my arch trellises at Ginger Creek. I will show those to you so that you can see them. And yeah, that's what the garden is looking like right now. I'm very happy and pleased with the way things are looking. Yesterday we had a butterfly out here, a couple butterflies, a couple hummingbirds. I'm cleaning my hummingbird feeders now. And ladybugs. I had a ladybug. I was so excited to see that, because you want ladybugs out here so they can eat up all the aphids if there are any. I have not seen any infestation of that. Tons of bees on the borage, which is great. I've had the really big, fluffy, fat bumblebees, the fuzzy ones, and little honeybees. So hopefully there's a couple hives nearby, just not in my attic. Sorry this video is all over the place, but I worked today and I wanted to show you guys a video before I went to work. I got more buckets here. Obviously they're not going to stay there. They're really pretty, but I'll put them around the seating area once I get that set up. But I just wanted to show you kind of the organized chaos mess that I have out here at the Wilson Garden and share that with you. As I told you, I would do my best to post a video every Friday. So I hope you guys have an incredible rest of your week. Sorry this video is all over the place, but that's where my brain is today, and that garden brings me peace. So I hope you all have a great day. Good luck in your gardening adventures. We'll talk to you soon.